ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
Yo.
What it do?
What's good, gentlemen?
We back again.
Hey, where's my phone? In the East, it's your boy Prade, knowing how to. Yeah, I came with that energy. Who else got that energy? Yeah. Nah, me. And my daughter looked at me like, "What are you doing, bro?"
No, I listened to because I asked you if you have a pen.
Oh, you asked me if I have a pen? No, I don't have a pen, honey. Oh, I do. Well, not that. That's fancy pen. That's the bulk. No. Use the cheap one.
Oh, so we all gonna have like an intro. Yo, it's Dice, the ghetto intellect. Now I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro. I was about to say something crazy because you do music. So I was about to be like, "Yo, Dice, nice on the mics," but I was like, "That's crazy." And then you got Emma.
Boy, yo, that's when you have to give a Harlem and your pause, B.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And your pause, B.
Yo, B Money was good, Ammo was good, Q was good, Dice was good. Oh, I see the pin on the lapel.
That's you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Got the
an
snake
event to hit.
money, baby.
You didn't say 5 times. Just
My apologies, everybody. You know what I mean? This was on me. I was getting scolded.
Why you getting scolded?
Yo, bro, y'all know what day and time it is. Yo, for being a man, you just exist and you kind of get some blows, bro. You gotta get uppercuts for existing, bro.
Nah, facts.
He with the
Facts.
face again.
Facts. Nah, but let's jump right into this first topic of the night, man. I mean, breaking news basically with this whole situation in Buffalo, and it's crazy because I had to like call my guys real quick because they live up there to be like, "Yo," and you know it's funny, they still didn't even hit me back, so I actually may have to keep calling. But yeah, man. How about I do this? How about I get the content on the screen? How about? All right, so I found a few clips. I did get the one that you guys told me to get because they probably are going to take that one down ASAP.
Yes, I sent it to you. I sent it to you too. I screen recorded.
Okay, yeah, no, I got it. I saw it. I just put it in. So basically, the 2 clips that I have is the actual criminal, killer, racist. You know, all of these things. I don't even know what to say, but I have that clip, so we could start with that. Or I also have a clip where the operations manager for the supermarket was being interviewed, which that interview in itself tells you so many different crazy things. But where did you guys want to start with tonight? Should I play?
Play both. Play the clip.
Play
Play the clip and play the one was in the car. Play both.
Copy that.
The Buffalo.
Chanel Harris, and you're an operation manager at Tops. Can you tell me what you experienced?
Well, I experienced today when I was in the store, I was working, and
What were you doing?
Putting up groceries, and heard a noise. Then I got louder and closer, and everybody started running towards the back. I got stumbled a few times before I was able to get out, and by the time I got out, I ran around the front of the building, experienced someone getting shot, and I ran back because I was looking for my daughter. My daughter, but we both okay.
Okay, so your daughter, what does she do there?
She worked as a grocery clerk.
Okay, as a grocery. Did you see the shooter?
I seen him.
What did he look like?
He had army fatigue stuff on, and he was dressed like he was dressed for army in the army.
So,
White
tall,
male.
white male.
White male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was in like army fatigues. I heard helmet. I heard.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. And what kind of like a rifle?
Rifle. I seen all that, and I ran back at this.
Yeah.
So he still was shooting.
So you were trying to find your daughter during this. And how many shots do you think were fired during this?
Over 70.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of rounds.
Way back here.
Repetitive.
And so how did you escape?
Through the back door.
Okay. And you said you fell a couple times trying to get out.
I got stumbled a couple of times.
And there were, I mean, how full was the store?
It was full. It was full this weekend. It was full. Today was packed. So it's,
And you said someone was shot in front of you?
I witnessed one of them. Yes.
You know, I'm so glad your brother's here for you. And
Me too.
yeah,
Surprised me. I didn't even know he was here.
yeah. I mean, he was on his way. Which I mean, Tops. This everybody comes to the supermarket,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Even across town. I live across town. I work here.
Yeah. And can you tell me about like how you're? I mean, what do you think? I mean, this is a mass shooting, right?
It's like a nightmare. I feel like I could dream, but I know it's not a
Something
dream.
you hear
But
about, but you never experience.
yes,
You know, you see
like
it
you see this on TV,
but
you hear about it on
reality
TV.
of
Yeah,
it.
don't even think, man, like the schools and things like that. But
Right.
I would never thought I would be one of them.
So were you hiding in the back, or did you just run out the back?
I ran out the bag as
Yeah.
I got stumbled. I was running with everybody else.
Yeah. And where did you find your daughter? In the store or outside?
I found her outside,
Outside,
and
with a-
yeah,
yeah.
outside.
And what did you think when you?
I just think they know. I just grabbed her. I hugged her.
God. Oh my gosh. And how long did it take for you to find her?
As soon as we tomorrow right
Okay.
here, it was
Yeah.
grabbing people.
Okay.
And because so many people was missing, and they were grabbing us
Yeah.
as saying this name, that name. When I seen her face, I was looking for her. So I seen her, but I was already with my niece. She was already outside with all of us. So,
Okay. Oh, you found her. You found her first.
I
Okay.
seen her first. Thank God she was out. They escorted all the boys on the backside, and SWAT had
Yeah.
SWAT and special units was there. So they started gathering everybody together as we started going back in looking for other people. That was employees, because that was the first initiative to get the employees and the customers out and get them to safety.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I want to point something out right quick. This thing of like, this obsession with black trauma, it fucks me up every time I see stuff like that. It seems like
Okay, so you caught it.
movie to them, man. Like they just like, oh man, and what happened after that? It's like, yo, I almost lost my life back there, right? Like I'm just trying to get shit together. I'm alive. Like, yeah, but what did you do after that? What the fuck you mean? I'm alive. I'm happy to be alive right now. Like, motherfucker, is your heart racing? Like, nah, because my shit's still. I don't even feel. I feel like I'm living a fucking dream right now, especially when a situation like that. You see shots fired, you hear gunshots. It's like get into some weird fucking feeling like you're an illusion or some shit. Like it isn't real. That's what's happening because it's so fast and the danger is so sporadic and so much shit going on. God damn, bro. Woo.
And I'm happy you noticed that about the video, because I just feel like the unnecessary questions, like, you know, the woman spoke about, you know, getting to her daughter, and she was like, oh, what does your daughter do there? Like, why is that relevant even to the conversation? And then another thing that I really noticed is that they wanted to highlight that scar on her chest. Like, if you notice, the cameraman just kept on going down. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, to me, just the questioning. And I understand sometimes if you don't have like a good question to ask, you'll ask like a little nonsense one, but like it was just irrelevant stuff. Like, you stumbled, you mentioned you stumbled, and she's like, yeah, I almost bust my ass a few times. So
Yo, I'm sorry, but yo, doesn't that feel like a stereotype she wanted to debunk? I swear to fucking God, when I heard it, it felt like a stereotype that she wanted to debunk. Not all just white people stumble in danger. Yo, I swear when she said that, I'm like, what is stumbling got to do with? Okay, she debunked here.
Yeah, damn, son.
It's like
wow.
It's not that it's the only time it happens. Every time it's a black trauma happens, the same questions over and over again, like the same repetition, same thing they ask. Like, do you not think maybe my heart's racing? You notice she didn't ask her anything are you okay? She didn't answer that question. She asked a bunch of questions like, oh, you stumbled? The camera guy look at that scar on her chest. Like, come on, I just died. Almost died. People just died in there. People got shot. I didn't have to witness that. I was at work minding my business, stocking some shelves, and I almost got shot for it. And this is the questions you asking me. Do you think this the proper time to ask me these kind of questions right now?
hold on. We got a comment.
I'm over it, bro.
No audio. Maybe that's on your side. Oh no, I was gonna say no audio.
Okay. Good.
All right, perfect. All right, so let's quickly get into the. We might as well play the next clip of the actual perp actually driving up to the spot. So let's get into that, and then Q will take it off since he brought this one to the table because I wasn't even aware.
Just gotta go for it, right? It's the end. Right here. Going in.
Thank you very much for not showing anything beyond just the point of him getting there.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to see any of that. You feel me? Because we already know. They're sensitized. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's interesting is before Q here, I know where Q going with this already. Before you even say it. So if people ain't familiar with Buffalo, right? So the neighborhood he driving through, that looked like he was driving down Utica, if I remember correctly, right? Because Martin Luther King Park is right behind it. Kingsley Park is to the south of that tops. Because there's two other tops within like a mile and a half. There's another top across Main Street, and to the west, and there's one to the north. And I was at first I was like, why do you choose this top? Then I realized I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? The neighborhood. There we go. And then when they said he was white, I was like, oh shit, it's gonna prove somebody's point right now. It's about to prove somebody's point. Go ahead, Q. Go ahead.
First off, shout out to the woman who was working there. Just her composure was amazing. With that barrage of questions and seeing her like just hold it together, I would probably be a hot mess. I'd probably be in tears. I'd be losing my mind. Or I may not, who knows? But I gotta give it up to her for her composure. Also, thoughts and prayers, if you're spiritual, to everybody that lost their lives today. This is number 6 of mass shootings in America to date for 2022, and it's the worst. We have 10 confirmed deaths, so 10 souls who just wanted to get bread and eggs so they can make breakfast for their families or whatever, wiped out, never to be seen again. Transitioning to the next step or the next next realm, so to speak. Wherever you are, thoughts and prayers to everybody affected by this, because obviously their friends and families are going to feel this. It is absolutely heartbreaking. Um, and for a gentleman, person to live stream it, to have the forethought, to regale, what do you call it, to arm themselves with armaments and vests, so that they, knowing that they were ready for war. Nobody, you know, it's the height of uh, disgust. These people are out here, and it's not a lot of them, but there's some nasty, dirty, low down, broken monsters walking around here. And thankfully, we live in a society where this is not an everyday thing. Um, and we're blessed just in that. You know, we can just go about our days, go to the grocery stores and come back. But there are some vile, uh, misbegotten creatures out here, and we should always be wary of that. Now, I don't think we should live our lives in fear, because that's counterproductive, and also you feed into what this guy wants, is for you to live in fear and to feel and to be in that state of anxiety and panic. And if you give that, and if you live your life like that, he's won, and he's done exactly what he wanted to do. I'm happy that the what do you call it, that well, by the words of the spokes people from all the law enforcement, um, and what they were saying that they pulled a judge out, from the nearest county, and they were going to arraign him that moment, and they're looking to put him under the jail. They're looking to put him behind bars, forever. What do you call it? No parole. No, what do you call it? No chance of ever him seeing the light of day. And we'd be so lucky, you know. It's crazy, because when this thing came to me, I was like, well, when this came up across my feed, I was like, holy crap! Like 10 people, just that's it. They were just going to a grocery store. Like we should be thankful that that isn't us, and that's not anybody that we know. And we should we should always be mindful that we're very blessed and we're very lucky that didn't happen, because it started down, like after he like got out of there, like he killed 4 people, or he shot 4 people right in that parking lot in and of itself. And then he went in and then started with his chaos and his madness. And I'm gonna turn it over to you guys now. After I say this, um, say a prayer, uh, grab a loved one, hug them and kiss them, because these are the monsters that are out here.
Yeah, man.
With that, I'm gonna follow that sentiment. With that sentiment, right? So what it feels like is now it's getting closer to home. You know, because when we watch it and we hear it, it be all the way in the boonies, in the Midwest somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm home in Tennessee, it don't sound familiar. Even though everybody got a gun, everybody goes to the range, you see everybody, and it's not it's not normal. They're normal. This mass shooting shit is becoming normalized. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the obsession with, what I'm saying, jumping out of a vehicle, running up into a public space, and just dropping people? Like, it's mind-boggling. And like you said, like Dice said, man, we're being desensitized. We're being desensitized because we're seeing it over and over and over and over. And after a while, you just get more monsters. And then what do you do in that instance? Where's the deterrent? Because what each individual state and these communities are promoting now is, let's disarm the citizens so that this don't happen no more. All right, you disarm the citizens, but the monsters still able to get these weapons. How are we going to defend ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the argument that I put out there when I hear it. I'm like, yeah, you could, no problem. You could take all the guns away, sure, but criminals will be criminals. They will find a way. We got 3D printers at home, and people are printing guns now. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We see these stories about ghost guns and this, that, that. Come on, bro. People are manufacturing. These monsters are becoming. They're becoming craftsmen in their art. So, how do we fight against that? How do we fight against that? What steps can we take to make it a deterrent? You know what I'm saying? If Buffalo had a open carry policy in that thing, you don't think somebody who was carrying would have dropped them right there in his place? Like I don't know. I want a solution. I want a solution.
And it's wild too, because Amo, like, the one person that had a gun was the retired security guard, who was a retired cop.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's retired, and he unfortunately he lost his life trying to protect and trying to save everybody. Shout out to him.
Yep.
What do you call it? What a terrible way to go. Retired. Yeah. Just you're just a security guy. Just you gotta just passing the time, enjoying your retirement, trying to make a little extra money. Trying to serve the people. You don't think your day is gonna flip and do this.
Yeah.
It's extremely sad, and there is a good argument, and I hate to say this because I've always been on the other side of the end where I'm like, yeah, take all the guns, but they took all the guns in the UK. All the stabbings are through the roof now, but if everybody, like, what do you call it? If everybody had a gun, or if everybody was able to carry one, a lot of people, I think, I have to keep my mind open enough to think that if everybody had a gun in there, that dude would have been dealt with a lot quicker, and there wouldn't have been this amount of casualties. I might be wrong. I'm open to hear any argument, any opposing arguments.
I think it's better if we just. I don't mind people having guns. I'm a big rights person of the Second Amendment of to bear arms, but I think we need to do better mental checks on check on people's mental health to see who's allowed to carry these guns, because these are weapons that can take people's lives. And for some apparent reason, it's just like people are allowed to have a license to carry a gun. How did this man that's basically mentally ill, something's wrong with him? How was he able to have a gun to walk in a supermarket, shoot 4 people outside, and walk in? This man, he had this thing scouted out and planned. How was he able to get a gun, a rifle, to go do this? How he did it with a mental state like that? If that's what you think you're gonna do, walk in and kill black people because you think it's fun. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you go walk in the supermarket? Like, why would you even think that's a logical way to think in the first place?
Okay, so
there needs to be something done with people that's able to have these firearms. We need to have some way to check their mental status to see, are they allowed to carry these guns?
All right, well,
this is out of control.
How I feel about that situation, well, to answer to what you're saying, B, I believe that there's forms of mental state that is unstable, that won't pick up in let's say the tests that they give. They're gonna try to go and look for people who suicidal, or who just wanna enrage to kill everybody, right? There's a difference between somebody who wants to just kill blacks or just kill a specific race of people. The mental state compared to the testing that they do for somebody who's gonna go, kill everybody. They don't really pay a person any attention who says, I want to just, kill all black, Asian, whatever race that you decide to want to name. They take that as like, oh, this is just a hate speech. It's like, nah, man, this is evidence for, like, damn near this entire time this country has been stable, or even matter of fact, before the stabilization of the country. This is just what it does. Not only that, I want to bring to light a couple things before the shooting. So we have COVID. We have. I'm not wearing I'm not wearing a Reynolds wrap hat. You feel me? This is just real shit that happened. Then on top of that, the food facilities that was burned down. Like this shit seems to be adding up, man. I'm looking at it like most things that happen in this world, in this realm, was kind of like some mathematical equation to it. That shit right there is screaming a sum and equal to, lack thereof of any other race besides white. Because it's like, are we not going to pay attention to all of this shit? Like, not only that, not wearing masks, storms, capitals. This is just a long list of things that's going on, right? And there was a post that I did see, and I kind of wondered the same thing, because what we speaking about, these people basically, they're the ones who started this whole thing of mass shootings and mass killings. There's been multiple FBI raids on different groups of people, right? Why the KKK has never ever got a RICO case? People are literally killing, hanging. They're creating things. They're putting people in place to keep a particular agenda alive. That's beyond terrorists now. Like, and since this conception of this country, it's not me trying to be racy, but this is the facts of what's actually happening. I've seen groups of Asians get hit with a RICO. I've seen groups of all types, Italians get hit with RICO, blacks get hit with RICOs. Everybody get hit with RICO cases, but these people. And it seems to just scream out to me, how can you hit the people with RICO cases when they're the people who makes the RICO cases?
But not in the KKK. There's the Aryan Brotherhood. There's the white supremacy groups. There's so much more of them, and like I said, I'm just realizing that. I'm just realizing that I ain't never seen a RICO case go against the Aryan Brotherhood.
Well, technically they all KKK. Even the Aryan Brotherhood, all of that is still tied underneath their subsidies.
But I ain't never seen a
KKK.
Why I see RICO cases against rappers, singers, gangsters. I got homies that have RICO cases on them right as we speak in jail from the GS9 pickup.
Right, so
I see no KKK members involved. I find that very interesting.
So for people who don't know how the RICO case pretty much goes down, because people just they're really infamous on just saying a word and they don't really know how it goes down. So in the beginning, it was, the conspiracy situation, right? If we could just get one person, you know what I mean, to even give up another person in the room, or these people being in the same room and they're not supposed to be, then we got a RICO case.
Yep.
All right, cool. Now, what started happening within our culture, within the black and brown, what they do is, now with the RICO case, all they need is one person. And if you even remotely have a picture, you knew the person, y'all all getting riled the fuck up. Now, so what I just said in the past, a couple minutes ago, if there's a RICO case towards KKK, that shit is everybody across the board going. Because all one of y'all have to do is, one guy got to speak to any one of y'all. And y'all all going down. That shit is weird that it just keeps jumping over the main fucking people who's, creating these type of things like these mass shootings. Because from what I can see, other mass shootings have happened, but kids going here. But these things are happening from, I believe, individuals, whether no matter the age, they're being taught something, they're being told something, at which that they have a right to do this. This is not saying, it's these people. No. These people are being taught that they have the right to kill other people. Not that something's just bad for them, because we're taught that certain things are bad for us, or people don't want us around. We're not going out outright hunting white people. You got to be taught to go and kill other people to come up with a result of a mass shooting. You gotta be made not to just dislike or feel uncomfortable, but nah. We talking full on attack mode. Like, they can't be here. Like, I do pest control, So we talking about directly going in the area where we know rats are at, or roaches or flies, whatever the fuck is at. We're getting every machinery known possible, and they don't know that we're coming. We're gonna catch it at the best moment of the high rise. Think about what I'm saying to you guys. I do pest control, bro. Pest control to eliminate a certain amount of whatever this species is. That's what it sounds like to me, dude.
All of this is really excuse me, dealing with this cold right now. All of this is really, it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's disgusting, and I know if we say, you know, things happen so many times, we'll start to like be desensitized to it, or whatever the case is. But like, this is like on a whole nother level, right? And I think you guys touched on so many good points. You know, what makes a person, you know, plan something out? Like, you know, this person didn't just wake up and say, let me go and do this. But what makes you plan in such detail? You know, he knew to put on armor to protect himself, right? In case there was any retaliation. The other sickening thing for me was because my wife was telling me that he recorded it on Twitch. Like, what makes you want to put on a Go Cam and say, you know what, let me film what I'm about to do and the actions that I'm about to take place. And I hate that this has to come down to a race thing, because honestly, let me not say the world, but I know there's some people in the world, a lot of people, a lot of parts of the world that kind of want to try to move forward in this new direction where race shouldn't matter and races shouldn't be targeted for, you know, whatever the reason. It's like, here we go again, which, you know, is another conflict that kind of puts the knife right back in there and sort of twists it up. So, you know, if you were healing from a situation or something bad that really happened, here you are again, where this person is specifically targeting a specific race. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this, right? Because I'm not a monster like him. I don't really like to see anyone lose their life or anything like that. But the fact that these monsters get to come out of that alive, and it's great. They get to go to trial. You get to throw them under the jail. You get to do all of these things and blah, 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 blah. But like, again, not to make this a race thing, but if that was any other race, would that person not have been put down almost immediately? Like I'm trying to understand, how is it that they get the opportunity for trial? I'm not saying that, you know, I wish they would have put a bullet in his head or whatever the case is. There's like a fine line somewhere in there, but it's like, it's so weird to me that they always get to come out. There's a trial. They got arrested. You see them handcuffed. And I'm like, okay, so we do know how to detain, you know, criminals, monsters, regardless if they're armed or not. So, you know, the fact that he gets to live and he gets to go on trial, yes, he's going to be tossed under the jail and but he gets to be alive, you know. And that's another part for me that was kind of crazy that I noticed. But I mean, you guys already touched a lot of good part. But for me, all of this is nonsense. You know, I have friends out there. So, you know, I'm super nervous. Like, you get to go out there and kill 10 people and walk out and just give yourself up like that. You know, again, this is not just a black race thing. If that was any other race, any type of other situation, I feel like they would have went in there guns blazing. Right. So it's like, how I don't know if he surrendered peacefully. I don't know. But still, you go in there, you kill 10 people, you just do what you want. And then
he surrendered peacefully on Friday.
Okay.
What happened was, after he did what he did, he came out. Well, before he did that, he held his weapon under his neck like he was going to shoot himself, but then he put it down, took his vest off, and then just complied, put his arms behind his head, and just went down. According to one of the eyewitnesses out there, a gentleman who said that he was just about to. He was about to go there like 2 minutes ago, but then some told him not to, and then he's like, "Oh, you know, I just went and I did something else," and he's like, "Thank God I didn't." And just the hand of fate. He says, "I turn 51 next week. Just a hand of fate. Just told him not to do it, right, and not to go there." And fortunately for him, he was able to get out of there. But that gentleman, or the shooter, he surrendered peacefully, and and that was that. Reminds me of Dylan Roof, and that's the shooter that that's the white supremacist that killed all of those black people in the church, and they got him. They got him fast food right after. Like they got him fast food. They took him. They treated him all nice. Got him some food before they booked him. And I hear what you're saying, or what you gentle talking about, like the treatment. Because I'm sure if it was another race or a black person, they would have been killed, or might have had more bodily harm done to them.
Absolutely.
It's like,
It's a and here's the thing, right? We're not sitting on this panel making this a race thing. None of us in here are racist. All of us have friends of all different skin tones, different religions, different countries. We're not here spitting that garbage, right? But it's like, yes, to your point, Q, there's favoritism when it comes to that. The way that you're treated, that's crazy. I kind of forgot that he was, they did take him out of fast food. But it's ridiculous, man. Like what's the solution, right? Because I hear, they need to do mental checks, which they do.
They do.
Right. But
not even, they need to do deeper dive mental check. Like,
but what's deeper? Not to be funny, but what is? Can you elaborate what's deeper? Because not to make light of the situation, but we're not Professor X, right? We can't like go in their mind. Like someone can be a really great liar. Like they can really, go ahead.
I think there's some questions you can ask them that'll trigger them. That'll trigger a reaction from them, and you can tell their mental state. You can tell what the person has in mind, what the person's trying to get M16 to do. He's not trying to get M16 to go hunt. He probably want to go hunt something else. But there's some questions you can ask them, some ways you can ask the questions to get what the person's real agenda is, what this M16 they try to buy.
Now I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Figure out.
Prada got a good point. That lie detector test.
Yeah,
that covers that. And if they can't pass that, it goes back to what I said before. There's a hate in a person that you can't pick up in a lie detector test. Yeah. There's a hate within people that you can't just pick up by simply asking certain questions. And that's the part
Yeah, but see, I think the what you're missing. I think what you're missing overall is the fact that these people are not mentally unstable. We got to stop saying that they're mentally unstable. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's
wrong with them.
To interrupt you. Thank you.
You're not mentally unstable. There's nothing wrong with them, with their mind, because if you can premeditate this kind of act, that means you have some form of intelligence, which means when you go sit down and you do your health inspection test before you purchase, before you even get the card to purchase your rifle, they ask you these questions. They ask you, there's certain questions you ask, especially here in New York. New York is like the worst place to try and buy a rifle or a gun, bro. It's one of the worst places to try and buy one, because the level of scrutiny here is high. It's not like it's low. It's not a low level of scrutiny. The thing is I think I get what you're trying to say. Like, is there a way to scrutinize them? Like when you go when you go to join when you go to join the NYPD, right? You go through the interview process like 3 or 4 times, right? Mm-hmm. And through those 3 or 4 times, they're able to figure out what your mental state is, and then they're able to say, yes, you're a candidate for the NYPD. You want it to be that you want that level of scrutiny, but here's the problem with that level. But here's the problem with that level of scrutiny, right? When someone goes to purchase a firearm, right? You're going to purchase your firearms for one of 3 reasons. You're going into competitive shooting, right? You have a business or home that you want to protect, and you could be an avid gun collector. You could be one of those guys that just likes guns, and I want to collect it. You know what I'm saying? Now, nobody goes into the gun store and say, "Yeah, I'm going to buy this gun to go shoot some people." You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to walk into the store and say that? Nobody's going to say that. because they do ask you, yo, what do you need the gun for? If you go to a respectable gun shop and you're purchasing a gun, they ask you these questions because there's a due diligence process that they have to do as well. Even though you pass the NICS test, if you pass your screening for the federal database, you still go through the screening process at the gun store. They screen you. They could be like, wait, hold on, you want to do what? Yeah, nah, my man. And then they flag you immediately. If you handle your ID, they flag you. So no matter what gun shop you go to in the state, you're flagged already because they sent an alert. You know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, like I said, these people that's purchasing these guns, you don't know what set them off. If it was premeditated, guess what? Their composure is going to be spectacular when they go to the approval process of purchasing these things. You know what I'm saying?
I do have a slight pushback. I do have a slight pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Only simply on the idea that you guys don't think this is a mental illness. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give the pushback on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for about 7 years, this beginning of my work career, I've dealt with mentally challenged people, adults and kids.
Yeah.
The idea of mental illness isn't necessarily somebody who does not know how to work in a everyday basis, because that's high functioning. We call it high functioning. You can purchase things. You can people who have schizophrenia, not a high amount of it, but a good certain portion of the situation. They can operate normally to a point that a person couldn't pick up on it. But if something happens, something could trigger the situation.
Trigger them, yes.
All right, a form of hate to the extent at which you will go that far to which to cause a harm to that extent is somewhat considered. Because I do understand where you're coming from. It isn't like within the I would say the lower term. So if you go see a therapist, they wouldn't necessarily classify that as a mental illness because of the way that the world sees the situation. They just see it as hate, and it can be resolved in some type of way. But the form of hate that they carry, it can't. It's like it's in like a gene type of thought. Like you gotta save yourself, you gotta kill them, or you won't live. It's a little bit more deeper. So I feel like it's harder to pick up. That's the only thing I wanted to say. Not too much agreement, but more of like that hate is severe, man. But now go ahead, Q.
Let me jump in. To Amo's point and to answer what B was saying, anybody who's smart enough can cheat on any test, okay? And even mental health, you can cheat on any test. Like there's literally ways to that you can go online, read on how to fool lie test and whatnot. Like people have done it and they do it all the time. Spies do it. What do you call it? FBI has like has posted things out there. Yeah, there's things.
Is it on YouTube?
Huh? It's everywhere.
Is it on YouTube?
I get what he's saying. It's kind of like they create something, but then there's always some shit that you can read up on to oppose that same thing.
Yeah. Also, there are high functioning, like you said, there are high functioning people with bipolar disorder, high functioning people. What do you call it? Like I have family members who suffer from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. As long as they're on their meds, these guys they're normal people. Normal people. Of course you can. No, you can't. And so to that point, like again, this dude was smart enough to surrender peacefully, and do all that, follow the rules because he knew they're not going to kill him. They're not going to shoot him as long as you follow within those lines. A lot of times,
even if he did, still wasn't gonna shoot. They might have thrown less lethal towards him. Less lethal to orange bullets, probably pepper spray.
That's speculation. We can speculate all day, all night, but what happened, right? That's why I always tell like all my brothers, anytime a cop stops you, what do you call it? I learned this from a state trooper. Turn your car off, pull the windows down, turn your car off, and take the keys and put it on the dash, right? I've gotten stopped. They ask me like, "Yo, why'd you do that?" They're like, "Yeah, I have people who who I'm friends with that are on the force." They told me that just to de-escalate things and not make you feel like like I'm trying to do anything or I'm trying to run or whatever, just to do this. And then how many times I've gotten out of tickets just for that. I don't get out of all of them, but there are things that you can do that you have to learn the rules on so that you don't get killed. This guy, he murdered 10 people. And he tried to he injured 3 more and he got out, and he's going to probably live to the end of his life. You know,
the best life in jail. The best life that man is about to live in jail.
3 hots in a cot, baby.
3 hots in a cot. Yep, that's it.
Best life that man is about to live in jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
here we go. Here we go, and that's why he did it. I'm glad. Whoever just commented that, I'm glad you just wrote that. That's the reason why he recorded it. I'm trying to explain something. This is not. I do agree to an extent. The term of hating someone I see as a mental disorder to that extent. But himself, I think he's an agent. Like what I mean is an agent of that particular force, that task force to kill Black, Asian, and these guys are sent out like professionals, sent shit, told what to do. It seems like cops are never around. It seems like anything that can disturb them is never around. It seems like whoever flags things is just never around. Whoever is supposed to pick up on these things is just never around.
Look for example, look what happened on the train a few weeks back. It was no cameras working, no cops around, and there's always cops on the train station. But it seems to me that particular day,
here's the crazy
no cops, no cameras, nothing working. Come on, bro.
The crazy part is there's a precinct right upstairs from the train station.
Exactly, but
they're right upstairs from the train station.
You're trying to tell me no one got there on time while this man was shooting people in the train station and throwing chicken? No one got there.
Here's the catch that we all thinking. The catch is no one knew who the shooter was. No one knew nothing until they got a tip he was Black. That man was caught. Immediately, bro. I'm like,
no weapons, no fingerprints, no nothing.
Oh, there we go. However, they still got him super quick, bro. Like, god damn it. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I gotta push back, gents. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Mm-hmm. I know it's a slippery slope when we start putting the tinfoil hats on. And again, like it couldn't like listen, you and let me say this. You boys could be 100% right. 100% right. But I just feel like when it comes to just speculating that it's like, you know, the Illuminati or it's like an agent. Listen,
I ain't saying all that. I ain't saying
that at all.
No, I'm just
saying weird about it, bro.
I'm just giving you an example. Like you're saying that these guys are like, you know, it's like this is like a coordinated thing. I don't feel like when you start moving in that on those realms, what do you call it? You take your eyes off the prize and you're more apt to make more mistakes. So just stick with the facts. This guy was a racist, a supremacist. Like what do you call it? He might come from a long line of white supremacists. Like what do you call it? From whatever. Like this again. Like this is my just learned behavior. Things that are taught. What do you call it? To him. Do I think it's some big type of government conspiracy? I don't think.
When we say government conspiracy, we said agent. Like these white supremacists, they run their organizations like they're running agency, bro. They have.
Well, let me say this, right? There's no way for us to really know because we're not part of it. So it's like an organization. We can't really call what they do. I mean, you know, if someone got caught and they got arrested and they gave details about the organization, that's one thing. If we have that,
it happened multiple times.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they update their policies and they update the way they do their business. You know, once something like that happens. But the thing that I wanted to quickly go back to is the mental health aspect. And I definitely agree. Obviously, you know, it's easy to say, yo, someone's not in their right mind. But I think when we're doing that, and I know it's, and I'm not saying that it's not some of them, but I feel like we're bailing out monsters, like people that deliberately, they know what they're doing. They want to do it. They get a kick out of it. I feel like when we just throw the mental card out there, they don't get the punishment that they truly deserve. If there's truly a history of mental health, like dating back to, you know, maybe childhood, there's a record of it. There's something like that. Great. But
absolutely,
that what that tells me is I can go out there. You guys know me. I'm perfectly fine, right? I've never exhibited anything, you know, out of the norm. Mm-hmm. So if I go out there right now and I just take a gun and I just go, let me go take out 12, 13 people, I know the first card that I'm going to play is, oh, you know, I have a mental disability, you know, or I have this, or I'm that. Like the assumption that we just automatically jump to that. I feel like we bail people out. We give people the ammunition in a way to say, okay, I'm going to play this card and I may not do the same kind of jail time if this was under normal circumstances, right? Because they might get put into an institute. They might get put into other things for lesser crimes as well. You know, when they use the mental card, they don't get the same punishment. Oh, let's throw them in an asylum for a year, get them the help that they need, and then they're fine. But if they were just normal, they would have did like 3 years jail time. And I'm talking about like non-murderous events like this, but absolutely there's people out there that have the mental, but I just can't say it's everybody that goes and commits a crime like that. Is just they're out of their mind. They don't know what they're doing. They're because again, you know, I didn't know he surrendered, right? Because I was wondering how he got out of this alive. If you're really that insane, you know, to that aspect, you're going out with a bang, right? Like literally, people, you're not coming out with the, you know, I'm gonna take my life and okay, let me disarm myself, and because clearly he values his life, right? It's not like he's just like, oh, whatever happens, happens. I'm here to make my statement. I'm here to do what I have to do. And then, you know, to that comment that came up earlier where, you know, they're saying they're selling the video on Twitch. Like, again, like the agendas are there. Like someone's pockets is getting filled. You get what I'm saying? So I just want to, you know, I don't know if I could debunk it, but can we really say that everybody that does anything similar to this or less, can we always say it's a mental thing? Is it always an underlying mental issue there?
So where's that coming from though?
No, I'm just saying like earlier, because when Ammo was like, yo, we can't really say it's a mental thing because it gives them a pass. It does. Like maybe this person is just evil. Well, you get what I'm saying? Like why does it always have to be? And I understand there are majority cases where that person does have a mental illness, but is that everybody that commits crimes like that?
I'm a bit confused because the way how I said it was somebody that hates somebody to that capacity, you're fucking off in the head. I don't really understand how that got to the point of saying all people who are like doing this are like excused for a regular I'm not right in my mind and I don't know what I'm doing.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying in general is for it not to be, what I'm asking is, because when something like this happens, they're going to pull the mental card. I think we could agree with that, right? No one is going to go in and say, yep, I knew what I was doing. I was down for it. I'm ready to go. There's always going to be that card where it's like, you know, I'm not mentally there, which is going to lead to those.
They created that shit.
Listen, we're live.
Yeah, we are live. We're live.
It's not pre-recorded.
Yeah, so everything that you comment, we can respond to that the minute that you know what I mean, lay that down.
Yeah. Everybody's on a stream delay. That's how this platform works. Everything's on like a minute stream delay or 30-second stream delay, something like that.
Nah, but back to what you were saying, Prada. No. I get what you're saying. You're saying in terms of the defense when they're going to court or whatever the case.
Yeah. Like they always want to drop that.
They're always going to do that. The thing is, though, I feel like whether or not they're off, they find something within their history and then try to make it emphasized. Like, when he was a kid, he was violent. Oh, the kids try to take him to a therapist. Once they say the word therapist, it's over. He's now classified as somebody who's not mentally all there, even if he had a GPA at A, B, C, and D. A lot of these people are serial killers. Let's just be honest. Let's be blunt about this.
Can I give you a good example of this? This was a great example in a movie, though, right? You guys saw Christian Bale's Batman, right? The first one, yes, right?
Yes.
And what happened when the crime boss went to jail? When he was going to jail and he was locked up, you see how sarcastic he was. Oh yeah, I'm loony, I'm crazy, I can't, you know, blah blah blah. Yeah, throw me in the loony bin. Like, this is what I'm saying. That I feel like there are people that are like criminals, like killers, and they use that as like to soften the blow. So that's what I was referencing. I'm definitely not downplaying the mental thing, but like I feel like how do we I guess, you know, if you guys have the answer, but how do we eliminate that process? Is there really a test out there? Is there really a specific line of questioning that you can ask to figure out if someone is really not there? Because there's always a way to cheat on everything, right?
It's placed like that whole part of that system is placed there for them to be able to get their way out of it. The reason why I say that is because if you go to other only people with money, should I say, or a form of power can really exit out of that situation. And I feel a lot of laws that's put in place within this country or within a lot of places in this world is placed that way so people with money can root their way out of it if they know the right things to do. But people like us who don't know or who might not be informed on a lot of these laws and stuff like that, it's harder for us to get out of that situation. And the number one thing they use is the idea of being mental ill. I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to really go against that, bro.
Yeah, but we have the internet. The internet is a great equalizer. Anybody can look stuff up on how to get out. You know, it's just that sometimes we as a people, we just don't know, or we don't look, and we don't educate ourselves.
No, it's not that part I was talking about. Like the money part. Like what I mean is like to get that therapist to who he has this particular type of look, or to say, oh yeah, I went and I evaluated this guy's like, wait, hold on. Aren't you like one of the top therapists? Like we understand this is a certain case, but how did you get in the room to test him to know that? What I'm saying is, if it was anybody regular, they would send a regular Joe Schmo in there to test them. You know what I'm saying? That person probably wouldn't even give a statement. It'd be read off like, yeah, this person's not mentally ill. But somebody like this guy, it's not going to seem regular. Like what I mean by it's like people who give in their expert opinions are going to seem like people has like a background in this type of shit. Like.
I don't think we know enough about the process to actually speak on that. Like, if we knew more, like if we knew like how the process was, and what do you say? Somebody's got a lot of background noise going on. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But,
that's B.
I hear some.
That's B.
No, not me.
No, just be mindful of the noise, please. But to my point is, like we're speculating, and again, it's a good conversation, but I just don't think we know enough of how that actually works, or how people actually get off on like the young lady, the young white lady that killed her Nigerian or black boyfriend a few weeks back, and said she was crazy. I was just crazy, and the one that stabbed a gentleman in Miami. We did a pod about it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Also, to Snooze and I had a post. He asked a question if we saw the live stream. We didn't see the full live stream, but at the beginning of this pod, we posted a part of the clip of him.
2 minutes of it, like 2 minutes of it.
The Tops parking lot.
Yeah, we're not into snuff films. We don't like to see that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Plus they kick us off. We can't put that. We can't post that.
Yeah, definitely.
Do we know? Well, obviously he got arrested. Do we know what he's facing already? Like,
life without parole.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Hey, listen. Say what you will. We'll have to watch it to see like how it ends. But the people who are speaking on Buffalo's behalf, they were saying that they're gonna throw everything at him. All right.
I don't think that's good enough though. I think you should get the needle or something.
Well, that's not. They don't
life
do
the life without parole is just a way to say.
That's
you have to live your life
this is New York.
This is New York. There's no death penalty in.
This is New York.
There's no death penalty.
Well, some way, somehow, there should be death penalty in New York because that is already. You just walk up and just
there are a lot of different places. Obviously, there's like countries where it's like, hey, if you get convicted of rape, they allow the family to exact justice on you any way they want. You know, sure, if a lot of if some of these things were implemented, would it have people a little bit more scared to go and do what they do? Maybe not, but. Look, life with no parole. Sure, he gets to live, but he's not, out here. I wouldn't want to be in jail for life. I mean, that's torture, and I get it. He's alive and your family or loved one is no longer here. But I mean, like you said, it's New York. We don't do that. So there's nothing we can really do about that in general. So the only thing that I don't like is this going to be a long trial? I hate when they drag this out. Yeah, bro, you killed 10 people. You knew what you was doing under the jail. Like this don't need to be a 1 month. 2 month, we got to get 40 updates.
No, the Dylan Roof one, that was pretty quick. They knew who it was, and he's gone. I mean, they gave him his Burger King after, and they treated him nice. They probably gave him a back rub too on the way in. but I think he's done. Like it's a game over for that little creepy monster.
That little cretin is living life without parole most likely. That's not good enough. He killed 10 people and he knew what he was doing.
Good enough.
It's not good enough.
Due process.
I want to argue that. I want to argue that. But the law is the
due
law.
process. I think life without parole is not good enough.
I
think a man that rapes. I believe a man that rapes a woman, him going to jail for life without parole is not good enough either. There's certain. I don't know. Maybe my mind's a little twisted. I don't know.
And the only I have to push back on that one because I don't agree because there is and there are proven a bunch of innocent men and women that have been proven innocent after. I'm talking about losing 20, 30 plus years of their lives because of lies, because of allegations and alien freedom. So I will never say, kill him, like 100%.
No, I know that. I'm talking about the ones that are found guilty, 100,000% sure.
They are found guilty. That's why they served 30 years.
No, I mean the ones that are no doubt about it. They really did do it.
Yo, B, we're human. Yo, B, we human. What you asking for is something that you won't see, bro. We human.
Yeah,
you gotta be God to be able to see, because what he's saying is people have done 20, 30 years and then they're found guilty. So up until that point, everyone is just like, yeah, that person is a scumbag. He's a rapist. He's this, he's that. So we already have it in our mind that he's done. So imagine if we would have just killed him or her in that moment, just to find out 20, 30 years it wasn't that person. You get what I'm saying? Then what?
I get what y'all coming from.
Here's the thing: there's a lot of black men that was the fate that they had. They died or they were killed, and they were exonerated after. Okay, so that's why I always err towards no. Put him in jail, lock him away forever, put him in solitary confinement forever. I don't care. Just keep him out. I don't think I'm not for the death penalty just because I don't want to see not one of our black brothers or sisters or innocent people, white, black, or indifferent, white, black, or whatever, die because somebody messed up, because somebody was overzealous and whatnot.
Well, I think we'll end this with condolences to everyone that lost somebody today. I mean, it's terrible. Like, you go into the supermarket, that's like the last place I think anybody would think something like that is going to happen to them.
Yep.
And you feel safe, and you're like more concerned about, hey, we got to pay for plastic bags now. And then here you have a guy that comes in and does what he does. So our condolences to all the families out there. It's crazy. I wouldn't even know how to deal with that. But we are going to get into the next topic right here. So, and this one is another crazy thing because you guys are talking about Rico this and Rico that and Rico here. So here goes a nice fresh Rico case for everybody.
Young Thug is scheduled to appear in court today in Georgia on gang-related charges. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was one of 28 people named in an indictment in that state. He's charged with conspiracy to violate the state's RICO Act and participation in criminal street gang activity. The indictment also includes fellow rapper Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Giovanni Kitchens.
Yo, I'm sorry. I hate the way they be pronouncing our name. Yo, that shit be driving me nuts.
Yo,
Gunna,
the name
Gunna, that's yo, boy.
They can't say the name, leave the name alone, bro. But all I can say is, be Young Thug, bro. That shit not right, bro.
And rapper Gunna.
Listen, man.
Yo, and
all right, man.
They added 9 more charges. At first, they gave Thug 2 charges only, just to make sure they saying stick. They dropped 9 more on him, and they dropped 6 more on Gunna to make sure the RICO sticks. I'm gonna start with, I don't know, how does a state have a RICO charge? That should be saying the federal government should be dealing with, not no statewide stuff. Like That didn't make sense to me when they did it to YFN and Lucci. This doesn't make sense to me doing now. Georgia's just reaching and they're doing too much, bro. They just doing too much. They ain't trying to do nothing but the white supremacists or the KKK. They ain't giving them no RICO like Dice said earlier, but yet they're giving it to all the rappers that are trying to give young black men opportunity to get out the hood. Like, that's not right, bro. Gunna, I'm not gonna say he ain't. I ain't gonna say he ain't do nothing. He talks too much, bro. Damn, bro, he talks too much, bro. I forgot there was one thing. I forgot who said it. One of my homies from GS9 said it. If you don't say nothing, they can't hold nothing against you. Just go in and don't say nothing. Don't put nothing in your music. Don't say nothing to them, and you'll be good. These men got these drill rappers got all their crimes just lined up for them in all the music, bro. It makes it too easy. You're making their jobs too easy, bro. You give them a free paycheck, bro. If they want to put you on a RICO charge, they better work for that shit. They need to work. If they can't work for it and they can't get me on it, then leave me the fuck alone. But honestly, bro, you made it too easy, bro. You already put all your crimes in. Yo, this one song, bro. He said, not Gunna, Thug said, I give my lawyer, I forgot how much the amount he said, and he handles all the killings, bro. Come on, really? Really?
I actually have that here for you. So just for reference, maybe I lied to you. Maybe I don't have it, or maybe, you know what? I said it to you, bro. Come on, have it, bro. They doing way too much. You're making their jobs too easy. You should know better, bro. You know better. This man was employing mad people from YSL. He started his own label, bro. Independently, YSL. He made the first project they made together, bro. He put all his artists on one album, and the shit went platinum, bro. All of them in one album, bro. And then you get now. The thing is that, bro, everyone that was on the album, bro, the whole YSL album, everyone that was on it, bro, every single one of them got indicted. Like, come on, bro. Everybody on the label. Let me get the baton real quick, big brother. Wait, am I older than you? You're my little brother. I don't have all the information on this, right? This is kind of what I want to get at. And I hear you, B, and I understand, you know, it sucks because you're watching another black person that was successful and everything go down, and it's like, damn, you know, oh, they're trying to take away the opportunities from us and things like that. And I do understand your perspective, but I do have a little bit of pushback on that, right? And that pushback is going to be common sense, right? At some point, you have to detach yourself from the streets, specifically when you become a multi-million-dollar brand, an influencer, fashion, music, you know, across the board. And the thing for me is, we as a people got to understand, yes, we went through our struggles. We did what we had to do to survive, and we did all of that. But if you are fortunate enough, especially to make it to that level, you need to know how to leave it behind you. Like if I'm in that position, I am a rapper now. I am the key to open doors for everyone else. Like you said, he brought everyone onto his label. He did everything right. He did the right things. But what I'm saying is, if I'm in that, I don't want to know about any crimes you guys are doing. I don't need to be involved. Keep me out of it. If I'm giving you money, it's for a specific job. Your security, you're my manager, you're my this. We need to learn to separate ourselves. I don't know why is it that we want to jeopardize. I don't know if it's to maintain street cred. I don't know what it is, but we can't always say someone wants to take something from us. We also have to be smart too. Once we're elevated to a level like that, you got to be smart, man. You gotta understand not to jeopardize your business. And I feel like
they have him on doing anything though. I think
they have him on. Come on now.
I didn't know.
Come on now.
Because listen, Listen to his first two charges. He's involved in gang. He's involved in the gang. They consider him. They say they're saying YSL is a gang. They say
We
he
know
was involved in gang. He's part of gang activities. They're not saying he did a particular crime. They're just saying he's involved with them.
So what? Like he's an accessory?
That's what a RICO is,
Yes,
man.
basically.
That's what a RICO is.
Basically, he's
That's how you
accessory after the fact. He's accessory because he was with them, because he did a handshake with them. He employed them, so he had to know what they were doing. I don't think Doug or Gunner actually knew what these guys were doing. They know everyone.
Yeah, but you see. Hold on, V. I wanna get you while you're in that moment. Again, that is another excuse. Like we could use that excuse years ago. We didn't know any better. But I think in 2022, we also understand who we gotta know who we keep in our circle, right? If I am a multi-million-dollar brand business, I am going to vet everyone that is around me. Yo, I can't be around you if you got a gun in the car. I can't be like, we have to start holding ourselves accountable. We can't keep making these excuses. As much as I have all the friends in the world that's about that life and all of that, if I'm handling business and I understand I am a brand, listen, brother, sister, I love you, but if we kicking it, this is how we doing it. I can't be in your element anymore. I can't be kicking it with you on the block. I'm not going to be in the trap house. I'm nowhere. Around that situation, you have to understand that you have to protect your brand, your assets. We can't keep saying, "Oh, we didn't know." Come on, you know who your friends are. Like we're not gonna do that. Like if you know your friend is packing and you know what he's about, then you gotta, hey man, we going out, but you gotta leave all of that in the crib. We got security. You don't gotta worry about that. We can't keep making these excuses, man.
I'm not giving excuses for him. I don't think I think he knew what they were doing. I don't think he was involved with the activities. I don't understand why is he. I can understand it's a RICO charge. You gotta get everybody. You gotta get everyone in one fall swoop to make sure something sticks on everybody. Someone got to flip on somebody to tell somebody did this, who financed this, who did that, who did that. It's that third. I understand that, but come on now, bro. They're reaching because first of all, how does this? I'm so sick of this. Like a lot of people, a lot of lawyers I know said the same thing. A state shouldn't have their own RICO able to give out a RICO charge. That's saying the federal government is supposed to be doing. FBI, the ATF, not. You can't tell the state is sending state troopers to my house for a RICO charge. Come on now. You can't.
But you know, it always starts. It starts on it starts on not the state level. When RICO's when they start with RICO, remember it starts by a county and then they push it up because they don't just say, yo, we doing RICO. No, they got to have grounds to even enforce RICO. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, what y'all failing to realize, right? So RICO been around since the 1970s, right? Yep. And the first time
before that.
Yeah, no, the 1970s, the RICO Act actually was 1970, right? And in the 70s, they started using it to take down labor unions. No, that's not what it does. No, Mafia didn't even get hit with RICO until the 90s, and that's what people are failing to realize. So in the 70s, they was taking down the labor union bosses that were getting too big in their station, right? So they needed a way to bring them down a notch that was viable because they were like, wait, hold up, this is an organization, right? And what people don't realize is RICO, corrupt organization. That's the part that people always overlook. Yeah, racketeering, bro. Forget the racketeering, bro. Forget that part. The corrupt organization part is what they're trying to enforce. They're trying to say that the group of individuals that you put together are a problem. And that is the statement that they're making across the board. The group of people that you are together with, because YSL is a brand. It's the record label. Okay. You could say it's a gang, but it's literally they have a what do you call that? What do you call that?
Chain of commandment?
No. What do you call that? Not sole proprietor. It is a
LLC.
Corporation. It is an LLC.
Corporation.
It is an LLC. It's a corporation. YSL is a corporation. It is not a gang. It is a record label that rappers are on, making money, making records, making shows, and putting out things, and they're getting money. yeah, there might be some individuals that are like affiliates on the side, but they're not actually YSL employees. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it comes up. Now we start
No, but
attacking, but we gotta attack the head. So we have to put somebody on the top. So young Thug is the CEO and the founder of YSL Record. He's the guy at the top. Because it is his organization, he has to know what is happening within the organization for the members. So they're going to hit him first. They might not get him, but that's why they pile on the charges on top of another. And then another thing y'all not noticing is they're starting to take song lyrics as evidence.
Yep.
And remember, that's
on the video.
They've tried that multiple times, and multiple judges have shot it down by saying it's artistic license. They could narrate something, because remember, that's what they're using for Melly, who in jail right now. That's what they're using. That's their only evidence, because they don't have no.
Melly's evidence is a little different. It's not compared Melly's evidence to
No. He's right. No. What he's saying is solid. What he's saying is solid.
They don't have
solid, but I'm saying
there's no gun residue on his hands. There's no thing. The only evidence you have is he was sitting in the back seat and his lyrics. That's it. How you know he shot the gun? How you know? You wasn't there. There's no camera footage. There's no nothing.
You have a point.
You know what I'm saying? So Rico is a solid way to take down an organization and mess with its reputation. Because once you mess with the organization's reputation, all the brands and things that are backing it or the endorsement start crumbling to the wayside. They start moving themselves away. You know what I'm saying? So if you watch all the Rico cases up until this point, the only person that was literally successful, like Rudy Giuliani, he took down 11 mob members, and I'm not talking about low profile. I'm talking about at the top. You know what I'm saying? What was the other state? Soto was in Texas, right? Was that Texas? That was Texas. And then the very first one, 1972, that was in Georgia. So like you said, it starts at a state level, but it becomes a federal court. You know what I'm saying? They have to move it up.
No, but the federal
they will move it up.
No, but
they just need to make sure that the charges are solid first. 56 count. When somebody throw 56 count at you, they need something to stick, and that's all they do.
But in that one, his lawyer did speak. His lawyer said the federal government turned it down. They didn't want to pick it up
because it wasn't solid enough. But
it's still not solid enough, bro.
Listen, if the state can pull it through, then it'll move up to the federal court so that they get real charges, because that's what you want. You want federal charges. That's mandatory 3 years, 3+ years. That's mandatory. You know what I'm saying?
So I know you guys were talking about the lyrics. So I got the clip. So supposedly these are some of the lyrics that they're using.
That's just one.
I got all type of billings. Fuck around and add a pussy nigga out like linen. Last nigga tried me, almost got popped in Linux. Ask the cops, ask the detectives, they know all the business. Ask the cops and the detectives of all the jurisdictions. Ask the kids at school who ambition, all the missions. Gave the lawyer close to 2 million, he handled all the killings. I don't know and I don't wanna know who Florence business. I don't know what's going with bro, I think they all spilling. We don't speak about shit on West, it's all my business. We known to kill the biggest cats of all kitties. Ooh, ooh, diamond speaker boo. Ooh, ooh, I done fought the crew. Ooh, ooh, I done did the robbing. I done did the jacking. Now I'm full rapping.
See?
That's my shit. That's my song, though. But still, I knew they were gonna get some of that shit. That's my song, though, bro.
Yo, man, we gotta move smarter, man. I'm sorry. I understand we just gotta know when to let it go. You could still be attached and still. I don't feel like you lose all your street cred, everything that you've done, just because you decide to separate yourself. Now, I could easily make a rap song right now and talk about a whole bunch of stuff that I've never did in my life, and if they want to use that as evidence, good luck to them. So I don't agree with that, because I think that's nonsense. It could be a lie. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at 6ix9ine, right? It could be a complete lie. At the end of the day. So for me, however, though, if you are insane enough to even reference anything that you have really done and throw it in there just to throw it in there, then it's like, again, we gotta start. Like, we could say, oh yeah, it's artistic, create that's private, that we could say that all we want, but if you're confessing, like, how many people have gotten, like, I was looking at the story the other day, it's an old one, but this dude, he worked at Bank of America, robbed them for like $80,000. What's the first thing he went and did? Got a BMW, got some clothes, social media stunting immediately. And they go, how do you go from being this quiet average guy to driving a brand new BMW and everything? And then it's like, come on, bro. Like, you don't think they're gonna look into their employees first? Like, they're missing $80,000 and they wasn't stuck up. So again, a lot of people are getting locked up right now because of their music. A lot of people get locked up because they on social media crap, all this evidence. Like, stop doing it to yourselves. We can make up all the things we don't feel is right about it, but look, man, this is what they're using now. So how many examples have to be made before we just start saying, hey, maybe not rap about that, maybe leave that one out?
I would have thought after GS9 got picked up on those charges a few years back, they would have stopped. But these niggas ain't stopped, bro. They just keep on putting themselves in worse situations. Before YSL got picked up, YFN got picked up. YFN got picked up a few years back. Before that, Rollo and Fam America got picked up.
Yep.
Fam America was the bigger one. When Fam America got picked up, I would have thought, all right, let's chill, bro. Nah. After Fam America, they went right after GS9. The GS9, they went after those blood niggas,
Jim Jones and them?
No, not Jim Jones and them. That was after after Jim Jones. They went after them ones with 6ix9ine was dealing with. The blood niggas. Fuck the set. Treyway.
Okay.
They got Treyway.
Oh yeah, no. They were still tied into Jim Jones because like it was a tie-in. They needed that Treyway situation in order to jump into the Jim Jones. But yeah, nonetheless,
yeah.
Right.
But they went to Cali. Cali, they picked up the motorcycle gang. They went to Texas, took the motorcycle gang. They keep on picking them up because they keep on doing shit. You would
so
think,
what are some of the charges for Young Thug? Like, I see 56 count.
No, Young Thug only got 9 counts because they just boosted. He had 2 for affiliation and being associated. And then they gave him they found guns. They found
because I heard he has 2 RICO charges and then 7 individual charges.
Yeah,
by
for the
himself.
guns. For the
Okay.
they found a large amount of weed. They found
that's the other thing.
They found 3 guns, 1 semi-automatic, 1 that was registered to him, 1 that wasn't registered to him, and they found a couple other things in his house. Then the charge for Gunna is affiliation, association, attempt to distribute because they got Gunna on a big amount of weed one time, and like 2 perk pills, and a few other more charges for Gunna. I'm not sure Gunna's charges, but I know Thugger's charges, and like Thugger's he can get away with the other charges because they found his stuff in his house. It was distributed. It was in his house. He found in his purse, in his property. He owns a house. He's paying his mortgage. He owns the house. His kids, his family was living there. Everything was locked up in a proper safe place. For him to get with a gun and a drugs bag, he had to give him the code to let them in to get it. So that's all the thing he could beat those. But for the RICO charges, he only has 2 RICO charges against him. He could beat. His lawyer said he could beat this because he ain't really doing nothing. He's just a CEO of a record label. He was making music. But I don't know. I would think in our community now we would understand. Like we gotta stop.
Well, all right.
Stop going back to the street life. Stop associating stuff with it.
I want to jump into this.
If you
man.
get out.
Because I was quiet, but yo, as a rapper, dude, it's very easy for somebody who don't do this or who haven't had any outlets or how the situation is to judge a situation on how somebody should do the lyrics. And I've been the one to question the same thing as well, but it's not the same thing, bro. It's kind of like it's like someone doing a movie or a comic book, bro. No one's sitting here busting in nobody's door who create movies, and it's stuck because people become fans, people become addicts, people live this out, However, this situation is distributed. Okay, now how people take certain situations, that's on them. Now, for certain stuff with them niggas sitting here remotely saying they're killing this person or they doing this, that's a part of the situation I don't quite, you know what I'm saying, dabble with too much, because I'm not fucking killing nobody. I ain't got nobody killing. I mean, I don't feel like it's cool to even rap about that shit. But for people in that circumstance, their lifestyle is a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? They in survival instances that's like I wouldn't be able to tell or speak of. Like, you know what I'm saying? And however they deal with their situation is a whole lot different from a boy like me, city boy, who I could kind of escape or have another route of going about the situation rather than somebody right here has no other way to deal with the situation but this way. And people who don't know remotely know how to really do a lot of things. And a lot of these people don't know how to do business, a lot of that shit. And through music is how they figure all of the situation out, to be quite honest with you. So it's not always that simple to say it that way because, again, you can make a song, right? And it's like, it don't mean nothing to you. And if somebody come to you offering you $100,000 for that song that it didn't really mean too much to you, but it's like a bop to it and people rock, you ain't know what's going to get to that extent. You know what I'm saying? But that's only for songs that's when you're just coming in the game or that's new. But if you at the level where Thug is at and you like, nigga, you 7 albums in, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You already like clarified to be a legend and still kind of saying that. All I can say to that is that idea of culture, like what Kendrick is talking about on his project, that's where I agree with Prada at. We're attaching certain things to the culture as if like we can talk about things in a certain for instance, it's like, hey, listen, we all seen somebody get maybe heard somebody get shot at. We could tell a story of hearing about a situation. We could tell a situation about passing and kind of somewhat seeing it from your point of view without necessarily having to implement yourself in it. There's ways to do it, yes. But some of these people, they don't take it as a hip hop art. You have people like Kendrick, this is a hip hop art for him. He's going to think about it in a creative art format. Then you got some people, this is only an outlet. Like as if like they think nothing of it. Like this is kind of like writing a BS idea. Like, man, I'm gonna take over the world and be president and just throw it away. And if somebody picks it up, runs with it, becomes president, and it's like they go, well, the reason why this happens because he was like, I didn't even think none of that when I wrote that. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that it's a vibe. I mean, this is what the people buying. This is what I'm feeding. It gets to a point that what I would say for Thugger, and this I'm not really trying to bail out, but this is the reality what it is. The people who are at a lot of these concerts are white, right? And they're the ones who actually are buying more into the idea of all of this killing rap or whatever the case may be, right? Okay, cool. Now the thing is, for Gunna to stop doing that is to stop feeding those fans. Now, what people are not seeing is what I would say is that side of the world where they don't know how this hip hop situation works. They just know what affects their kids. What they don't realize is we're only feeding towards what your kid want. Your kid keeps buying this gun violent shit. Like it's not the kids who I'm chilling with because we all trying to do this and they cool with me doing this. But when I do that, my sales go down when it comes to that. So I kind of got to stick to this in order to kind of keep this kind of going. Again, it's not an excuse. It's just the reality of dealing with that type of industry. You are now in entertainment. You now have a crowd and the masses to feed, and it's up to you to deal with that. Right now, if you lose that, then your endorsements and all that go out the window. Record label starts plummeting. All of this stuff starts to come into play at which nobody who's in that damn lawyer office, none of these prosecutors and shit, they don't care about that shit. But when it's popping and it's affecting people to a certain extent, then yeah. Now, to the things that are like killings and stuff like that are really tied into that, I don't think none of that shit is okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of it is okay, son. To even remotely killing a motherfucker, know you kill somebody and go rap about it and then go on a show and promote that, and knowing that you know about indictments. Everybody in rap know about RICO. So it's like for you to understand this and understand that, it's like you're choosing now at this point, right? So I just put out what happens in the beginning, how we trying to get the art out, then the difference of what it is, how to feed that masses, then learning the game and learning how to separate that. After that, that shit is on you now, bro. If you decide to want to keep talking about this, knowing how to, there's a way to separate that. There's a way to feed that crowd without necessarily have to put yourself inside of a position. Now, bro, everything is on you now. Now you got to be a man and up to that shit. Yo, listen, hey, I don't want to make this music no more because of what happened, or I'm in a certain standpoint, but it should be no excuses at this point. Well, to the point that where he's at, should I say, you know what I'm saying? Because he can control the narrative. You're a legend already. You can steer this any way that you would like to steer this. It's his choice to stay in that way of thinking. So,
but I don't think it's. I guess I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Dice. But I think it's more they trying to get him because what his people were doing. They're saying there's murders and stuff committed, and there's one point they're saying they couldn't stick it to him, bro. They're saying that he tried to approve a hit on YFN Lucci, and according to his lawyer, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They say he tried to approve a hit on Lucci.
Well, the situation with Lucci is like they got Lucci, and they got a lot of situations that's been going on in jail between them two sets, at which it feels like they have a lot on that side, like from Lucci in that situation between two sets. That I feel like the RICO case is just to kind of get it in to try to see if more mess creates itself. Because when you get in jail, it's a whole lot different. It's a different setting, bro. It's a lot of steps. I feel like when it comes to when a person get locked up, it's not just smearing a name. It goes by throwing your ass inside of the situation now. Like you in jail, bro, you got to defend yourself. That's another fucking case. It's other ways that we can get you and pile this on to make it that we can really keep your ass. Taking away the bail, what they did from him. See, all of this way is tactics to kind of, we're gonna get you, bro. It's only a matter of time. We'll try to get you.
But they have him and Gunna and Lucci separated in solitary 24 hours. Gunna don't come out.
That's smart.
Duggar don't come out.
Lucci don't come out. That's a question to everybody, all the gentlemen on the panel. And I've been quiet because I wasn't going to talk about as much about this as I would. I think Prada summed up a good chunk of not all of my thoughts, but the majority of my thoughts. But I want to pose a question to every man on the panel. How many black men do you think are living in America right now? And I'm only just dealing with America. Go. Anybody could just start.
Oh, just a random number?
Random number.
Black males?
Black men, males, period. African American.
10 mil, 20 mil. I don't know. I'm just
Hey, Siri.
I think it's 80 mil, about 80 mil.
What do you think? Dice said 20. What do you think, B and
50,
huh?
Like 50 million to 40 million, something like that.
Okay. Well, what do you think? What do you think, Prada? What's your best guess, Prada?
Nah, he trying to get some accuracy. He already heard Siri. Siri.
You see me? You see? Hey Siri. I honestly don't know what fact to take a guess. That y'all saying 80 mil. That's a lot. I mean,
I'm like, God damn. I thought I was wrong.
He said in the whole country. He said in the whole country.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people.
Just a guess, Prada. Just a guess. Your guess.
I'd say like 7 mil.
Okay, there's approximately 19. Dice was the closest. Approximately 20 million black men. Out of those 20 million black men, right? How many of them you think are thugs and gangsters and that fit that dynamic?
Out of 20 mil.
Something like maybe like 300,000.
Amo, what do you think?
Shit, you got me, man. If it's 20 million, yeah, I'm gonna put it at 10%. 10%. That's 2 million.
So you
say like 15%.
So you think 2 million black men. What about you?
I say for me, I would say about a good mil.
Good mil. Okay. And you B?
I'm gonna say like 15%.
Yeah, I thought he said 50. I was like, yo.
I said 15. 50. If you did something.
So close to Amo, approximately 1.5 million shooters and gangsters and whatnot. Okay. I would say probably closer to 0.5. Why I say that? 64% of black men of age, and I'm not talking about kids, are in the middle class. All right. So those dudes ain't shooting, and if they are, well, they're doing it. What do you call it? They're doing it on some sneak shit. Because cops love killing black men, and they love killing thugs or whatever, gangsters. My bigger point is this. Why the fuck are we still glorifying the thug and the hip-hop and the gangster persona. We have worked for the past 30 years to take our image back and to build ourselves, build our communities. And don't get me wrong, we're nowhere where we need to be, but a lot of us are doing. Every man on this panel, let me tell you right now, I respect and I hold in esteem because you guys are not killing or shooting or doing any of that goofiness. Every guy here, especially I know Amo, Prada, Dice. What do you call it? I see B. I see you guys. You gents are move makers and doing things and have bright futures ahead of you. If hopefully, I hope the brother Young Thug, as I see him doing really good things, trying to like improve his community. I hope he gets off. But if you live by the gun, you will die by the gun. You may not die necessarily, but you may die in jail. Okay, we gotta stop. The same way we try to hold our women accountable for their actions, and we try to get we're hard on them for the goofy stuff that they put out. Like, when are we gonna grow up, gents? When are we gonna like leave this part of this caricature of which only what do you call it, highlights a very small. I don't even think 1%. I don't even think 1% of our population does that. What do you call it? Moves like. I don't even think it's one. But and don't get me wrong, art is art. Art is one thing. Like Dice says, you should be able to put your art out like Kendrick. Like, I'm 100% behind it, right? But at a certain point, we got to think, hey, man, this can't be it. This can't be what black men are. This can't be the whole, because you know how many girls I've dealt with and dated who are not black. Look at that, beautiful child. Look at that, beautiful black kid. He ain't gonna be no thug. This kid is gonna be a master of the universe someday. You know, because he has a good black man, a good black father. We're not deadbeat dads. You know what I'm saying? We're not like, what do you call it? We're not all of these thugs that from like cops. You know what I'm saying? We have to start pushing away from this goofiness. Bobby Shmurda spent 6 years of his life because he was, what do you call it? Because he got what do you call it? Because he wanted to pop off about like that he was like this big thug from GS9. You know what I'm saying? Lost 6 years of his life. Like, how long are we gonna just keep doing the same old dumb stuff, bro? Like, I'm tired of it. Snoop Dogg, they gave him a case of murder. Snoop Dogg would be in prison till this day. We wouldn't have Uncle Snoop, who is also a bastion of black culture, who is Uncle Snoop, who is the guy we look towards like, yo, we want to be like him. Millionaire. Jay-Z, billionaire. Jay-Z almost lost it all too. Gents, I can't. Yeah, it sounds great and it's pop, but that doesn't represent all of black people. And if black people keep thinking that, black men keep thinking that this is a cool thing, you're just going to poison the next generation and the generation after that. We've done a great job taking back our identity. How come we still glorify this stuff? Like, I can't, for the life of me, I can't understand why we think that this is okay. None of it is okay, boys. Like, again, we have like Kevin Samuels, RIP. He pushed it. He was like, yo, listen, your image is everything. The way you dress, the way you present yourself to the world is everything. If you still want to, stick to the age-old caricature of black men being hoods, this ain't the 90s no more, boys. And if you're stupid enough to put yourself in this position, you go to jail. Go to jail. I'm sorry. Go to fuck to jail, because you're not helping us. You're not helping the next generation, or you're not helping us to move or bring in anything better. I get passionate about this because I see this. We see this cycle over and over and over and over and over again. Nobody says boo. We say, oh, that's messed up. We need to do this. guys out. If they did, no, man. He put it out that he's a gangster. He's a thug. Maybe that was his life coming up, but that's not his life now. There's a reason why people leave the hood, because guess what? When you put yourself in those situations and around those people, guess what? You have to be accounted and judged by them. I used to know, like, hey, listen, I'm rolling with this kid. I know he always has a heater on him. I'm not going with him. I'm not going in his car. That same kid strung out on drugs, got caught by the cops, and he's in jail now. I think he's dead because I think he died in jail, unfortunately. Rikers Island. That would have been me. I was very close with him. That could have been me. We all know people like that. We all grew up around guys like that because we all grew up in those aspects. But at some point, something in your head, like, the self-preservation part of you has to come out and say, hey, I gotta detach myself from these guys. I got to detach myself from this life. Yes, we ate we ate the same government cheese. We ate the same government spam. We ate the same goofy that white carton of the white cartons. Yeah, that we got from WIC and food stamps and whatnot. But that's not who we are anymore. We got the internet, baby, and also we got the world has progressed past that. So black men have to really start thinking, hey, this ain't me no more. All right, and I need to move past that and look towards the better future, a brighter future, which we all have. I'm gonna turn this over to you, gents. Now, am I wrong to think this way? Because I think being in this mode only hurts us, only hurts you. Because I think Young Thug is actually a good dude. I really do think so. Because I'm just seeing what the movements that he's making. I'm like, all right, this is a decent human being. I could be wrong, but he put himself in this position because of the company that he keeps. It wouldn't have nothing if he didn't leave himself open to.
You know that my final thoughts. I feel like we got to be more accountable. And I feel like that huge in the rap community. I separate rap from hip hop because what I consider hip hop is not what's damaging our culture. It's what keeps us informed. It's where I learned a lot of things from. A lot of us have grown and learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of black men, that was our father figure. You know what I'm saying? For women who didn't really know how to go about certain stuff, there's hip hop artists, Queen Latifah. There's a whole bunch who actually gave, you know what I'm saying, a standard to stand on. How to move in a room full of men and still, you know what I mean, be feminine. There's so much things that come from hip hop. It landed us in great, beautiful places. But I feel like the rap is the part that's not taking accountability. It's like that kid that doesn't ever want to take, that friend who never really want to just sit there and be like, yo, bro, I can stop doing this, bro, but I'm scared. You know what I mean? Instead, they just keep doing the shit that they doing and playing tough. And it's like, I think we need to take more accountability. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we, because even if I know better, if I know somebody who's in a predicament, if I could just talk to them for a few seconds, that helps. If I could just take them somewhere for a day and be like, yo, listen, you know what I'm saying? Let me just show you something else. Like, let me take you off the block for a little minute. Let me just show you there's something much better. And we could be spending our time a whole lot safer area than what you're accustomed to. So we all can kind of help whatever platform you have. If it is in music, if it's art, you know what I'm saying? If it's some form of a hustle, I just feel like we need to take more accountability. You know what I mean? Understand that we in better places in this whole idea of this crab in a bucket mentality. There's enough for all of us, man. We just have to understand that it's easy to do it when we trust each other and understand that the help is with the communication. The format of threatening and feeling like this warrior mentality against each other because we feel like there's no one else to do it around or we don't feel safe enough to have the same energy with. And I feel like that's a huge part of our community as a problem as well. The warrior mentality only stands one-sided within our community. It doesn't face the threat, the actual threat. It always stays in this facade. If you guys get what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
it's the person who look like me. It's the yo, dude.
You gave a good example of this a while back on the pod, and it's funny too because I was walking a dog and I noticed, another black dude chilling on his porch. I was walking towards him. We clearly gonna make eye contact, right? So it's two options. You either say, "Hey, how's it going, neighbor?" Or you just keep it pushing, right? And traditionally in black neighborhoods or whatever the case, you don't know that person, and we don't need to know each other. We say nothing. But if you go to another neighborhood, different races, different situations, it's like, "Hello, neighbor. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Hey, Tom, how's that?" You don't necessarily need to. But to your point, we're not doing ourselves any favors by sort of like, doing what you're doing. But yeah, I got you.
I think like we need to learn how to move differently. My final thoughts: we need to learn how to move differently. No, like Dyson Q was saying, know your surroundings, know who's around you, know who you with. We gotta get away from this crab in a barrel bucket mentality, bro. Because everyone wants to pull each other down. How are you beefing another black man over something, over nothing, basically? Probably just territory of something that's not even yours. You beefing with someone over a territory of a block. This is my block. This is your block. Like the block ain't even yours. It's named after a white slave owner. Yeah, you still beefing over it. Like, what's the point? What are we doing? Like, we need to get things together, bro. And I'm gonna say this, Charles Young Thug, he was doing some nice things in his community. I don't think he's gonna stop where he's at right now because he did leave things in place for the organizations to keep on doing stuff for the communities, doing stuff for the youth.
Was he building a complex or something?
Yeah, a apartment complex. Mm-hmm. He was trying to do what Rollo did, and they shut down. They took it from Rollo because they said Rollo was doing it with drug money.
See?
Oh, and also he was about to throw a festival.
Yep.
Yeah,
which can still happen.
Yep.
No, Young Thug is still throwing his festival. He ain't stopping that. He said no matter where I'm at, he said still do it. Don't stop it. This is why it took so long to pick up Young Thug. They would have picked him up earlier in the week, but he said he needed time to do this, and they just came and got him. He didn't even give a fight up. They want to know with a gun and drugs. He talking about get him everything. He didn't give a fight. He didn't fight. He didn't fight. He didn't argue. He didn't none of that. It wasn't really a raid when I opened the door for you because he lives in a gated community in the house. If he didn't want you to come in, he didn't have to let you come in. He buzzed them and he knew they were coming. They just wanted to make a scene out of it, make it look like it was a raid. It wasn't really a raid. Because how was that a raid and my lawyer's ready? My lawyer's there on scene waiting for you. Come on, bro. That means I know you were coming. But they still trying to make a scene that because they wanted to make it like a glorified thing. Oh, we arrested a rapper, Young Thug. Like
Q said it. Image,
because people who don't know.
They try to bust his brand up.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, his name is Young Thug." So people that don't know who he is, oh, Young Thug. Oh my gosh, he's a thug. But not knowing the good things doing for his community as well. If he's a thug, he's doing good things for his community. With being a thug, but still.
I mean, look, bro. To be honest, I think we're all saying the same things. The only thing for me and on my personal note is know how to move, and I understand if you grow up in a situation you have no choice and you got to move the way you got to move. That's fine. That's not what I'm getting at. But once you reach a certain level, once you make it out, the idea is to protect the brand, the image, protect the business, the assets, and of course, do the right thing. Build your community. Bring the right people along that's going to want to help elevate, right? That's the whole thing. You go back, you help people, you build a community, you do great things. But it's knowing which people to bring with you. You got to know who's going to harm you and who's not. Because you can have the person that you love the most. This could be like a brother to you, but you just got to know that, he's just too toxic for this type of my life. Like, I got to know how to distance him, so you just got to know how to move, know who your friends are, just protect yourself, man, because we got to hold ourselves accountable, man. I'm tired of hearing I didn't know, and I had nothing to do with this. But no, come on. I know which of my friends are gangsters. I know some of my friends that are just gamers. I know some of my friends that are just businessmen. I know who these people are. So if you get what I'm saying? If I'm going to go hang out with a particular group of people, I know what comes with that. So I can't sit there and be like, well, I wasn't aware. and I didn't know. I know there's a good chance. So we just got to hold ourselves accountable, man, and just protect the brand. And like you said, you gave a great example. Snoop Dogg and Jay-Z. Come on, we know they had a past. And do they rap about it? Absolutely. But they rap about things past tense, things that they got caught for already, things that are already done. So when he's talking about, mixing coke in we know he did it because he's been charged for it already. This is in his past. So he can use it and talk about it today. And it's going to sound cool to you, but it's not what he's currently doing. And if you're listening to Jay-Z's music as of late, his later stuff, it changes a little. He's talking different stuff. So people really got to understand that. Like, fine, you did some things. If you got caught for it already, the case is closed. Fine, you could brag about that if you want to throw that in there. But just got to be smarter, man. And that's all that I really have overall.
I think you guys touched everything, so I'm good with it too. Accountability.
That's what she said.
Perception. You know what I'm saying? How people view you is important, especially from a business standpoint. We got a lot to offer this world, and that potential is being wasted on foolishness. Like Rick Ross, buying all them acres. Kanye buying all them acres is because they got a vision. They trying to set Greenwood back up. The Black Wall Streets, there's plenty of communities out there in the United States that are perfect examples of the communities built for us, by us, that are thriving. They just don't televise it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're fortunate to pass through one of these, small cities where you see a community that's a true community where everybody know each other and they holding each other accountable, patch me through so I could, move in. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Great pot, boys.
I guess that's all we have for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Gentlemen, as always, it is a pleasure.
Yep.
Everybody out there, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
Please. And share as well.
Show some love, man. And please comment more. We like answering you guys' questions. It lets us know that you guys are there and you're hearing us out,
Also snooze or not. Next time, stick around and hop on the pod with us, man. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
That too.
Yep.
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.